Alright, so here we are back in LEGO Marvel's Avengers, and we're in Sokovia today. We're going to be wandering around trying to fulfill the achievement for Stiff Upper Lip, which is to unlock the British-related characters in the game and then use them all in one sitting. Now, we've already unlocked Peggy Carter previously, so we don't have to worry about her until we decide to take everybody out, but here we are. We're going to use Clea, the Sorceress Supreme of the Dark Dimension, to mess with this little box right here, and then build the speed pad that we need over there. Alright, and now we're going to need to grab a speed character, so we're going to go over here to the Mark 42, and we're going to try again. There you go. But again, the British characters, I'm not really very familiar with these guys. Probably the one I'm most familiar with is Agent Carter, just from, her getting her own miniseries. She's appeared in the other movies, all the Captain America movies, also Ant-Man, so it just... That's been my most familiar. So these other characters we're going to run into, are more or less unknown. So first character we're going to unlock here is Spitfire. Spitfire named for the British fighter plane during World War II. Although, again, I don't know much about her character other than that she's evidently really fast. Now we're going to switch over to Washington and hit up our next guy, which happens to be good old Captain Britain.
When I take on a mission abroad, I'm always afraid I'll be unable to find a decent cup of tea. That's why I always bring a healthy supply of the stuff in a number of flasks. However, it appears my enemies have gotten wise to my weakness, and my precious flasks have been stolen. Please, could you do me a huge favor and look for them?
Alright, so Captain Britain wants us to go run around and look for his flasks. Because he just can't simply drink his tea without them. So even though you didn't see that, the first one was located behind that magazine stand. There's Lego Abraham Lincoln. Not terribly awe-inspiring, and then hiding a flask behind his pedestal. And like all other fetch quests, you just have to look at the red dots, fly around, and get over there, or walk around, depending on what character you want to use. And there's another one up here. So again, if you're on top of the red dot and you don't see what you're looking for, then it's probably your altitude that's the issue. So that time we had to go down. Now, or we had to go up. This time we're going to go back down. And there's number 4 right there, and we can now head over and start looking for number 5. So let's see here. What's going on around this point right here? Don't know. Well, it looks like there's multiple things that might be going on at that newspaper stand. So let's go bother this guy, because it looks like there might be something back here that we could grab. So we'll switch over to Clea in order to use her mind control abilities to go send the vendor to break his magazine store, and then... Okay, what are we going to build here? Alright, we got some sort of lever. Okay, I don't know what that did, but the little thingy's not blinking anymore, and I've still got my little red radar thing saying there's something over here we haven't found. So, I wonder where. You don't think it's up? Yeah, right in the corner of the reflecting pool. And I imagine some of you probably saw it earlier than that. So now we can go deliver these.
Ah, you found them! Oh, thank you kindly. For a moment there, I thought I was going to have to hop a plane back to Blighty to get another batch. Wait a second. I can fly! That would have been incredibly easy. Ah, but then we'd have lost a bunch of perfectly good flasks, and I wouldn't have had an excuse to give you this.
And after a little bit of face palming, we can move on from Washington to the next area where we're going to be hunting for another character. So we're going to cut away as we run, basically make a run for the Quinjet. And then we're going to end up in Malibu at Tony Stark's mansion because we're looking for a very special British character down here on the beach. And he's hanging out, looking for a party because he may not do much, but he does know how to party. And here he is, Trevor Slattery, the fake Mandarin from Iron Man 3.
Trevor Slattery in the flesh. I've been laying low in the old mansion house ever since what I like to call Mandarin Mania kicked off, and well, I think there's the slightest, tiniest possibility that Mr. Killian might have tracked me down and sent his extremist goons to, well, do that thing they do to people they're not too crazy about. You'll do me a solid and take care of them for me, won't you, love?
All right, so I mean, this is somewhat appropriate for the Iron Patriot to be doing this mission. Both these guys would have had problems with, or reasons to be fighting the extremist folks. But yeah, we just need to kill a bunch of extremist goons here. 20 of them. There's, as we work our way through them, in the way that only the Iron Patriot can. Yeah, finish them off there with the super move.
Do you know, I think the coast is clear. You're rather good at this kung fu stuff, aren't you? Did you train in stage combat? I'm sure the guy who taught me had a few of those moves. Just a lot more rubbish looking. Anyway, thanks for keeping me alive a little while longer. Here, I'll swipe this from Starker's trophy cabinet. Take it, in honor of your bravery.
And now we're done in Malibu, and we need to head over to the SHIELD base over here in New Mexico. And this is where we're going to locate our last British character unlock piece. In fact, it has to do with this rather complex trap system here. So unfortunately, we're going to have to abandon the Iron Patriot, and we're going to find somebody who can deal with stealth stuff. And so we're going to go in for the Iron Man Mark 16 suit. And by having a character who can fly and use stealth, we can kind of cheese our way around this, depending on how you want to look at it. So you can see we've got 4 connections we need to make. We've got the first 2 done here, and the only real obstacle is that sweeping motion sensor. And you can see some acrobatic pulls, suggesting that maybe you use Black Widow for this, but we just fly around with the Iron Man suit in stealth mode, and we can sort of get around those issues. Get around having to use her. So now we got it all. We can go up top and collect the item, which is Union Jack, and now we've got everybody. So all we need to do is pay for each character and kind of show them off briefly, and then we'll be done here. So we're going to go away from the Iron Man Mark 16, and first we're going to hit up Agent Carter. So here she is. She has a gun. And then we're going to bounce over to our pal Captain Britain here. And he has a staff. I don't know what special properties his staff has, but it was kind of unexpected. You know, I knew he could fly from Captain Britain's powers in the first Lego Marvel Superheroes game, although this is a different costume and possibly a different iteration of that character. But yeah, having a big staff at least gave him some uniqueness, and I thought that was a nice touch. So now we're going to go over to Trevor Slattery, and Trevor Slattery is sort of a joke character, so he has some interesting powers. He's not particularly acrobatic, but his attack involves kicking soccer balls at his enemy. And he has a special move where he parties. So, you know, just kind of a fun little thing. I particularly love the soccer touch, you know, from his scene in Iron Man 3 where he's basically drunk, watching soccer, you know, with two women around him. And then finally we've got Union Jack. So he runs, he's got two guns, okay, so evidently he's a gunner character. I don't know what else he does. Now he causes my video feed to cut out for a little bit. That's not cool, Union Jack. And then finally our last person, which is the first person that we unlocked this episode, Spitfire. And the achievement pops, and you can see she's a speed character. If you're looking for speed characters who aren't Quicksilver, just for some, you know, variety, and you didn't create your own speed character, you have Spitfire. We saw Speed when we did the Young Avengers earlier, you know, so don't feel like you're locked into having to use Quicksilver to get through all the little parts of the post game. So, and she of course has the ability to move so fast that we've created duplicates. So those are all the British characters from the Stiff Upper Lip achievement, and at this point we're ready to move on and do something else. So I'll see you guys for that next time, and you can take care.